Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about just getting more out of your acrylic paints, like a couple of little tips and things that I do to make my paints go a little further and do more what I want. So I typically buy my Liquitex basic paints in these large jugs. So if you do paint a lot and you really enjoy painting, I invite you to make the leap. So this is the same color here. I have the primary tube. This is what I recommend for just, if you're just painting for like a little bit. These won't last for that long. So if you paint a lot, these, you might want to upgrade to getting a paint jug like this because this is going to last you longer. And it's the same as this. But what I typically do is I'll take this paint and I'll add it to a squeeze bottle like this. And then I'll mix in some water with it and then just shake it up. So you can hear how it kind of moves around a little more. You literally can't do that with this. It doesn't move because it's so thick. So the thickness of this paint, I'm just going to show you, is pretty thick, which is great because for sometimes you do want that paint really thick, and that's great. But sometimes you do not want that paint thick because it is just harder to work with, especially when you're blending. So notice how the paint is, it's like toothpaste. It's like very thick. But having this jug is nice because like if I need my paint thicker, I will use this. And then I have my thick paint and I'm good to go. But then I have also my thinned out paint, which is usually what I use when I'm doing any kind of blending. So here's my thinned out paint. You can see the difference right away. This is my normal thickness paint. It's kind of like, and then this one, it just pushes and spreads. It's much more fluid, but it's still thick. It doesn't it's not like watery. It's just more fluid. So you can decide your fluid preference, like how thick or thin you want it. I typically will add enough water to this to where it's maybe the ratio is about 70 or 80% paint and then 10 or like 30 to 20% water. So the math was a little bit of a stretch for me in that moment. I was like, wait, what? So, but you don't want to go more than 30. So I wouldn't do like half water, half paint, because then your paint is not going to stick to the canvas and it's just could mess up the integrity of the longevity of the paint in general. So try to make sure you're sticking to that 30-70 rule, 70% paint, 30% water as your maximum water ratio, and or maybe even do a little less just to be safe. You can even do 10% water, 90% paint, or 80 or whatever. So it's all going to be good, but it really does help with so for example, if I'm painting, this is my watered down paint, and then this is my not watered down paint. Like just notice how it like sticks and creates like a big gob. This didn't really do that. So it's just the difference of the workability of it is pretty noticeable. So if you're wanting that to be blending better, if you're wanting your paint to stay wet a little longer when you're blending, you're going to want to use the watered down paint a little bit because it's just easier to work with. Now, it's not saying that you're not going to get good results with the other. It's just going to be a little more sticky. It's going to be a little drier. It's just going to be a little harder to work with in terms of the blending on like a sunset or a water scene or something like that. And it also is going to give you more for your money. So you're going to get better results with your blending and your paint is going to stretch a lot farther. That means you're going to save money on your paint supplies. So I hope that tip is helpful. It's been a huge help for me to have the option to use the thick and to use that watered down paint, because then I just have it ready to go and I know that it's like a good ratio. You can always add more water to your paint as you go. So if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine as well. Just dip your brush in the water and then take some of your thicker paint and mix it in until it feels kind of fluid. So I would just dip the brush in the water, mix it in to your thicker paint until it feels more fluid, and then you'll get that better result as well. So it doesn't have to be pre-mixed, but I do like pre-mixing it because I just feel like it's like, okay, now I know that this is the paint that I use for for when I need it to be a little more workable, less thick. And then I have the paint that's thicker when I need it to be thicker, and I don't have to mess with it so much as I'm creating, as I'm going. Plus, the thicker paint will dry and get chunky, and you'll get little chunks in your paint, which I already did here. So again, it keeps that from happening because it keeps it from drying faster. There's less water in this paint, so it dries much faster than the paint with water. So again, if you're a person that struggles with blending and your paint feels like it dries too fast and you like to work a little slower, a very affordable way to create a solution for that is just pre-add a little bit of water into all your paints and create little bottles. It doesn't have to be this huge bottle that I use because I paint like every day, but this lasts me for like years. It will last you forever. You will not have to buy paint. You'll always have your primaries on deck, and you'll always be ready to get creative, and you're going to save so much money and so much time. So I hope that helps. And I hope you're painting today somewhere. Maybe if you have your paints out and ready to go, check out some of my other full tutorials and paint along with me. I hope to see you at the canvas soon, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.